Tantor with a recap of Georgia Tech's thrilling 28-27 victory over Virginia Tech. Granted, Virginia Tech stinks. One of the few teams in the country worse than us, but they are, and we won, and I will take a victory anytime and every time. And this, we need to celebrate for the first time in 4 seasons. We've broke that glass ceiling of 3 wins in a season for our 4th victory of the season. Yay, let's celebrate. All right, that was kind of pathetic. Starts out, Zach Pyron started over Sims. Sims is still injured. We kind of figured that. We've been talking about that all week, that Sims might have played his last down for Georgia Tech. But Pyron went out there and he played it tough. We'll start out, we'll just go with what I liked, what I didn't like. Since we won, we'll start with what I like, the defense. Defense gave up some yards, but man, they came through when it counted. They had 5 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, including the one that sealed the game at the end with Virginia Tech trying to drive. It was a big fumble caused by Charlie Thomas. Charlie Thomas is every game he plays. Every time we have to mention his name because he is just sensational out there. And I really hope that he gets an opportunity to play at the next level because he brings it for us, and he has. He's got to be our MVP of the season this year. And we had a nice interception in the 4th quarter also. So that's 4 turnovers that we forced on Virginia Tech. Field goal kicker Stewart, he's still perfect in field goals. He had 3 field goals. And our special teams made 1 play. They did block an extra point. We've got to give Dante Smith, I think this was his best game rushing this year. He had a nice 29-yard TD run and another big touchdown run. So he looked good out there running. McCollum at wide receiver was sensational, over 100 yards receiving and a big touchdown in the 4th quarter where he tight-roped the sideline. That guy, he's fantastic. He is fantastic, and I hope we get a good coach in here that can keep him in the program because people are going to be coming after him. I mean, he's going to be a transfer portal get. We look at our team and who can play another year and who other teams can poach off our squad. McCullum is the guy I would go after 100% of the time if I would. He could start for anyone in the country. He is just awesome. Pyron, hey. He won the game there at the end with a great touchdown run from 9 yards out where he just lowered his shoulder and busted through there. And he also received the best block of the day. The umpire took out the middle linebacker for Virginia Tech. Pyron cut off that block from the umpire and busted into the end zone. It was a great play. Maybe we can sign the umpire to play left guard for us next season or even next week. So that's the good. And we won. It's awesome. It really is. It's good to get a win. It's good to actually know that we can win more than 3 games in a season. All right, we got to go to the stuff that I didn't like, the stuff that was just horrible. The offensive line was still bad. They weren't atrocious, the worst offensive line on the planet. That might go to Virginia Tech's. Wow, I didn't think that animal existed, but it does. Their offensive line was horrible. Virginia Tech's offensive line is just miserably bad. We had, with our 5 sacks, our offensive line, by my numbers, only gave up 4. I know I keep my own stats. I say screw the official stat keepers because I don't think they know what they're doing. But what I was really looking at is how many times was Pyron hit on pass plays? Not on runs, but on pass plays. I had him hit 18 times. Your quarterback gets hit 18 times on pass plays. To say it's not good is an understatement. Pyron was getting crushed out there, but that's our quarterbacks. A pass play for our quarterback is basically attempted murder by the offensive coordinator. And the passes dropped. All right, Carter, McCollum, they don't drop passes. I mean, they've got Spider-Man hands. Everything sticks to them, and they make plays. But McCollum comes back. Carter's gone and graduates. He's a 6-year senior. Yeah, that's the COVID year. I didn't say that. But the other guys out there, they don't help the quarterback out at all. And we don't insult players here, and we don't call them out for their mistakes because they are kids and they are learning. But they got a lot of learning to do, and the coaches ought to keep them off the field because they can't catch anything. They couldn't catch a cold, and it's like Clifford Franklin running around out there. All right, what I can't stand is the mental mistakes, pre-snap penalties that we've had. Not too many, not as many as Virginia Tech, but we still had our share that wasn't any good. And Thacker, please, for the love of God, stop having your defensive ends drop into coverage. It does not work. It has never worked, and it continues to not work. I mean, how many times do you need to see receivers catch the ball and run away from your defensive end that's out in coverage? Huh? Like every time. So stop that crap. It's bad defense. It's a bad design. Stop it. All right, our punt team, punt coverage. What can we say? It's another TD returned on a punt. All right, and as we've done in past videos in the comment section, that's where we get into a lot of explanations. But to cut it short, a punt team has many different aspects, all right? One of it's the punter doing his job. It's not happening here. Another part is the coverage unit doing theirs. It's not happening here either. But I really think even if the punter is getting off some of these garbage punts, a good coverage team can make up for that. And the coaches not having good athletes on the punt coverage team is causing this. Having 3 offensive linemen out there and a punter, that takes 4 guys that can be covering a punt off. And, of course, the long snapper, we've seen him out there falling down. So we're down to 6 players covering a punt. All the Virginia Tech had to do was block 6 guys. And they busted one for a touchdown, 90-yarder, and they almost busted another one at the end of the game. We cannot continue to try to lose games with the punt team and the punt coverage team. It's on coaching. It's on the composition of the punt team. It's on the quality of the athlete that's out there, and it's also on the punter, all right? So it's on all of them. Giving up a pick 6. It was a good play by Virginia Tech, but the quarterback's got to get rid of that. And then the 2-point plays that we went at for extra points. Poor design. Again, in the comment section, we go in on why Georgia Tech should not run screens. We have the most unathletic offensive linemen on the planet, and screen plays are made with offensive linemen making blocks in space. Ours can't do it. And on the second 2-point play, we have 2 offensive linemen out there in front of the tight end, and they don't block anybody because they can't. They can't get to anybody to block. So it wasn't any good. It's just a poor play design. The offensive coordinator needs to understand the players, put the players in position to succeed. Straight blocking, drive blocking, that's all they can do. They cannot block in space, so don't even freaking try it, all right? All right, that's what I like. That's what I didn't like. Hey, it's a win. Love it. We go to Miami. Miami is another bad team that we have a chance to beat. So we have an opportunity to get another W. Let's hope Keys can do it. I don't think he has a shot at this job going forward. Losing to Virginia cost him that. But, I mean, who knows? If he could go to him and tell him that he'd take the coaching job for $100,000 a year, and they'd probably give it to him because we are broke. All right, next week, Miami. Probably won't talk to you after that because I am probably heading to Florida. So we'll see that game down there, and, let's hope for the W.